happened to my TikTok? What? It's already happened. That's right. TikTok is officially banned in the US. Sunday morning, I woke up to check my TikTok, and this is the message I get. If you have a US based account, you can no longer access TikTok, even if you're living overseas. And for new users, the app is no longer available for download. And for small business owners like myself who relied on TikTok to basically grow their business, they were able to reach their target audience without having to spend excessive amount of marketing dollars. This is a massive disruption. Okay, let's just dig into the details of what actually is going on here. Because is it another case of the giant against the small businesses? Because who's going to benefit from TikTok being banned? So the US government is saying that it's a security breach, and that because TikTok, they believe, is owned by the Chinese government. ByteDance, which is the official owner of TikTok, is saying that is not true. They took their case to the Supreme Court and said that the government was trying to ban freedom of speech. The Supreme Court ruled that this is not a freedom of speech issue. They're not saying that TikTok has to go and can't be there. What the US government is saying, TikTok, if it wants to exist as it is, has to sell to a US company. If they want to keep TikTok and make it available to Americans, they're going to have to sell to an American company. Well, of course, the owners of TikTok don't want to do that. TikTok is, they believe, worth $200 million, and that's the value of the algorithm, which they will never sell. That's what TikTok has said. What they have considered selling is the brand name. But is TikTok really a brand without the algorithm? What I loved about TikTok was an amazing search engine. You could find anything and everything. These things could compete with TikTok. Instagram couldn't, Facebook couldn't, Pinterest, Snapchat, none of them could deliver what TikTok does. There's rumors that Elon Musk is going to buy TikTok. I don't know how true that is. And I also heard that they're never going to sell the algorithm. So would he buy it just for the brand name? TikTok CEO has framed this ban as a First Amendment issue, implying that free speech is being stifled. But according to the US government, the real issue is national security. They have made it clear TikTok parent company ByteDance could avoid the ban by selling TikTok's US operation to an American company. What's the catch then? Okay, that solves the problem. Well, ByteDance has refused to sell its algorithm, the secret sauce that makes TikTok so powerful. Why? Because the US represents only 13% of TikTok's global market. And from ByteDance's perspective, selling the algorithm just doesn't make business sense. And here's where it even gets more complicated. ByteDance's refusal isn't just about money, it's about control. The algorithm drives the platform's success worldwide, and losing it could weaken TikTok's competitive edge. So according to Fortune, TikTok was unavailable for US-based users late Saturday after the company failed to thwart the nationwide shutdown required under a new national security law that takes effect Sunday. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the US according to an in-app pop-up message, which I showed you. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. And that's an important point. For now, President-elect Donald Trump said Saturday he would most likely give TikTok a 90-day reprieve from the law, providing Chinese-owned parent company ByteDance more time to find a buyer. Trump also told NBC in an exclusive interview that he'd probably announce it on Monday after he is sworn in. And then the CEO says, we are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us as a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. And of course, we all know that this CEO is going to be at the inauguration. The notification continue. Please stay tuned. The note also directs users to a page, Learn More, where they can go and download their TikTok data. So I tried to download my TikTok data and I went through the steps, which I'll show you guys here. And essentially, I guess it takes time. And they said that I wasn't able to do it, but it looks like it's being processed. And once it is processed, it'll be there for 4 days. And that was just like on one of my accounts. So if you have multiple accounts, you probably have to do this. And it downloads a .txt file. So I don't know how you're going to be able to work with that data. Where are the videos? I'm not really sure what the actual next step is in terms of downloading your data, other than that the data is yours. I don't know. It was TikTok's choice to suspend availability late Saturday. So I think that the owners are like, like, okay, fine, you don't want us. We're going to push this situation and be a little bit more aggressive in this, right? And so I don't know if this is like, we love the American people, we want to give you your freedom of speech, more than this is just makes business sense. Like, this is TikTok, it is believed to be worth somewhere north of $100 billion. Some people even think that it's worth $200 billion. And they are losing. The United States represents 13% of their business, which is not a huge amount of business, but it's still a big loss, because closing down 13% of, let's say if it's worth $200 billion, you're losing something like $26 billion immediately. The controversial law requires tech companies that host or distribute TikTok in the US, such as Apple Inc., Alphabet Inc.'s Google, and Oracle Corp., to stop doing so on January 19th. So essentially it's saying you can't distribute this app. You can't distribute it on the App Store or the Google Play Store or wherever it is distributed. US-based companies, tech companies that host or distribute TikTok in the US. So if you distribute TikTok in the US, you cannot do it anymore. Wherever you distribute TikTok, you cannot do it anymore. Removing the app from the app stores would not have shut off the service immediately. TikTokers who already downloaded it would have been able to continue using it, but would not have been able to install software updates. So the app would have deteriorated over time until becoming unstable. I recently worked on a web property that had never been updated since 2014, and it was totally deteriorated. So when an app isn't updated, it becomes absolutely useless. Besides that, I already had TikTok on my phone, so it wasn't about downloading it, but it just didn't work. They threw up this messaging. By preemptively taking the platform offline all at once and earlier than anticipated, TikTok had a chance of mobilizing its enormous user base into protest. So are we being played? Are we being played? But I gotta say, I'm kind of 50-50 on this whole TikTok thing, because honestly, TikTok, not for my business. My business needs more than TikTok to help it. But TikTok has made a lot of people a lot of money, and the small guys. TikTok has allowed people to reach audiences that they wouldn't be able to afford to reach. If you want to run a Google ad, it will cost you a fortune, and it's something that people compete on these keywords. That's not how TikTok works. The algorithm would work it out so that your video would go viral and it would reach the right people for your messaging. And based on that, people would buy and be aware of your brand. It was a great way to grow your business. And a lot of companies benefited from it. I know this one company that I used to work with. They were big on Instagram, but they essentially not shut down their Instagram business, but focused less on the Instagram because TikTok was such a game changer for their business and allowed them to sell more products than ever before. So by preemptively taking the platform offline all at once and earlier than anticipated, the TikTok has a chance of mobilizing its enormous user base to protest. It's possible users will demand action from political leaders like Trump to reverse the ban. So it's pretty strategic what they're doing. And then also think about Trump's position. He's like, he can come out like, I saved small businesses, because this is really a win for the small business, right? As opposed to the big guys. And nobody's going to go to Instagram for this kind of thing. Instagram just doesn't work this way, right? Instagram is more for aspirational content. TikTok was more about what's happening with real people, so many people. We remember Risa Tisa, Who the Hell Did I Marry? That has made her into a household name and launched so many opportunities from her. But it all started with TikTok. And then there was the whole movement, TikTok made me buy it, found on TikTok. So many viral moments TikTok has created, besides the dance and all of that stuff. It's possible users will demand action from political leaders like Trump to reverse the ban. TikTok says that the 170 million Americans, half of the country's population, use the app. So half of the country's population use the app. The law signed last April by President Joe Biden required ByteDance to sell its U.S. TikTok business to address national security concerns or face a shutdown. TikTok has previously tried to use its popularity to change its fate. The company urged TikTokers to call Congress, protest the bill, and to try to prevent it from passing when it was first introduced. The strategy backfired at the time, stoking lawmakers' fears about the app's influence over U.S. users. Well, there you go. But given Trump's recent support, although Donald Trump originally wanted TikTok banned because it was owned by the Chinese, it is owned by Chinese. It is controlled by the Chinese government. The Chinese government has said they will refuse for ByteDance to sell that algorithm. But given Trump's recent support of the app, it could be more effective this time. So their ability to leverage their popularity with the 170 million Americans that use their app, this might be the time to leverage that popularity, because Trump has shown that he is in support of the app remaining. Trump, who tried to ban TikTok during his first presidency over national security concerns, has since warmed up to the social media platform, speculating that it helped him win young voters during the election. Yeah, because TikTok has huge reach. It has a huge reach. But during the election earlier this month, he unsuccessfully made a push for the Supreme Court to delay the law divestiture deadline so he could negotiate a solution once in office, but they didn't delay it. TikTok CEO Shu Chu, that's interesting, who also spent time with Trump at Mar-a-Lago and is expected to attend his inauguration on Monday. So even before the ban, loyal TikTok creators were organizing online and trying to pressure Trump to make good on his promise that he made during his campaign that he would save TikTok. They say this is a promise Trump made, and it's a promise he used to get a large number of young people to vote for him. Okay, let's see. TikTok influencer Tiffany Cianci told Bloomberg ahead of the company's recent appearance before the Supreme Court, "We are calling on him to deliver immediately." So, again, Donald Trump says the right things. He's an amazing marketer. We all know that about Donald Trump, and we definitely have to give him that, is his marketing skills. But is he able to deliver on those promises of saving TikTok? Will he be TikTok's savior? How does people trying to get in his good graces, like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos? Obviously, Mark Zuckerberg would not mind if TikTok goes away because more people might go to his platforms like Instagram and Facebook. But there's a gap that TikTok is going to leave that those apps can't currently fill. Well, so that's it, guys. TikTok is gone for now. For now, it's all going to depend on the shoulders of Donald Trump, whether he is going to make a dispensation. But the law is pretty clear. It's not that they want to get rid of TikTok. They're just saying sell it to an American company. But the chances of them selling their algorithm to an American company is highly unlikely for two reasons. The owners of TikTok says that they won't, and two, the Chinese government is not going to even allow it. So the only thing that they can sell is the brand name TikTok. But having the brand name without the algorithm, is that the same product? I don't think so. Anyway, leave a comment below. If you're a small business, has your business been impacted by this TikTok ban? I would say yes. I would say definitely yes, because you don't have access to those users anymore. Did you do anything ahead of this ban to sort of be in touch with those customers? Did you get their emails? Did you make plan for this day? And did you have a strategy for this day? And if so, what was it? Please share it in the comment section below. Who's been impacted by the TikTok ban? We want to know. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.